Hello? I'd like to call the Planning Commission meeting to order on August 19, 2025 at 7 p.m. I'd like to acknowledge a few people here: Robert Siebert, Township Attorney; Jonathan Palin, Township Planner; Stephanie Osborne and Ava Miller from Giffords Webster. And with that, if you would silence your phones, please. And let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's call roll. Rick LaBelle.
Here.
Kathy Vosberg. Here. Richard Brokart.
Here.
Brian Carr.
Here.
Ralph Jaworski.
Here.
James Kalinowski.
Here.
Mark Renault is excused. Eric Heider. Carl Leonard is here. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from August 19th, 2025.
Here.
Eric. Any questions? All right, if not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Support.
Motion by Carl Leonard, supported by Rick LaBelle, for the approval of the agenda. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments? I don't think so. You didn't want to say anything? Wait until your turn. Okay, that's what I figured. There is no public hearings, and we have the regular agenda. The sign review has been postponed until the next meeting, correct? Do I have to mention that it's not on the agenda?
Yeah, I would make a motion to postpone at the applicant's request.
I'd like to make a motion to postpone the sign review for J25-0815 for Mr. Car Wash to September 2nd? September 2nd. Motion by Carl Leonard, supported by Kathy Vosberg, to postpone this meeting till September 2nd. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we have the Laurels of Chesterfield site plan. And that would be you.
I think we're in business now. All right. In your packets tonight, there is a memo from our team from August 4th. So this is the final site condo review for the Laurels of Chesterfield. This application's coming back to us. They originally submitted back in 2023 and are now coming back for their final site condo review. So we reviewed the application. Site plan is for a 10-unit detached single-family site condominium development. I'll note that there was a question about what final site plan review includes. So at this point in the process, the applicant is coming to the Planning Commission just for a final look at the plans, and they have to submit a set of materials. The applicant has completed that set of materials, and those are in your packets. And then the materials get reviewed, and at this point, the Planning Commission is just kind of looking for to ensure compliance with the standards for a site condo. So moving into page 2 of the review letter, again, the applicant's proposing construct a single-family site condominium. It's got 10 single-family detached homes. This is a permitted use in this district, in the R1 single family district. And the site also includes a 6-acre detention pond and a 6-acre general common area. As I noted, the applicant has submitted all the materials required for review under the site condominium requirements. At the bottom of page 2, you'll see the development standards. So this sort of development is required to meet the standards for the R1 district, since that's where it's located. There is one item that's not compliant, the depth to width maximum. And I'll note I got my inequality signs mixed up, so thank you for those who are better at math than me and pointed that out. So lots 1 through 4 are compliant, that is correct. Lots 5 to 10 exceed the 3-to-1 depth ratio, so that's something you may wish to discuss with the applicant. In terms of the site standards, these follow the subdivision design layout standards. In terms of streets, the plan doesn't include any new streets. All access will be either from 25 Mile Road or Chesterfield Road, and because of that, there are also no blocks proposed. They have met the requirements for sidewalks. A 10-foot wide sidewalk along Chesterfield and a 5-foot wide sidewalk along 25 Mile Road are both proposed. In terms of natural features, there is a detention pond on the site, as I mentioned, 6.1 acres for the detention pond, and then a 6.26 acre general common area. And these areas align with where you can see we have found that there are hydric soils on the site. The applicant provided an affidavit of no regulated trees on the site. In terms of landscaping, a landscape easement is often required if the use is next to an incompatible feature, and really everything around there is zoned A1 and is either agricultural or residential, so there does not appear to be a need for a landscape easement. The site's not in a floodplain, and then finally the applicant has agreed to provide the correct number of trees, or the required number of trees. They're providing 3 in front of each unit that are each 2.5 calipers. Right now they're proposing Norway maples or sugar maples, but there is a note that the developer may alternate for different species, but we'll make choices that are within the ordinance requirements. I think that completes my review. Happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may real quick, just to address the issue of the 3-to-1 width to depth ratio. The applicant did reach out, and in the same ordinance section where it talks about the 3-to-1, there's an additional section. I'll read the relevant part of that, but residential lots abutting major thoroughfares where marginal access streets are not desirable or possible to attain shall be platted with reverse frontage lots, or shall be platted with a minimum of 15 feet of extra depth to permit appropriate privacy screening as required. So I discussed with the assessing department as well, because we do have the ability to administratively allow that 3-to-1 to be exceeded. We're both in agreement that it meets the intent of the ordinance in this area, so we didn't have an issue with it.
Okay, so that item's a non-issue then.
If the planning commission doesn't have an issue with it, we didn't have an issue with it either.
Okay.
So,
All right, thank you. Would the applicant like to say anything? If you could push the button there and mic up, and is there a pen and a piece of paper there?
Turn red right here.
Yeah, push it again.
There it is.
There we go. Okay. Mr. Chairman, my name is John Eady. I'm the attorney for the applicant, Statewide Kaufman. I did correspond with Mr. Palin on that issue. It was designed by Urban Land to include that extra 15 feet because it was on a major thoroughfare. So we have, other than that, we have no further comments, and ask the commission to accept the plan as submitted.
Okay, that's all you have to say?
That's all I
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Unless anybody has any questions.
And we'll bring it back to the board and see if they do.
Yes.
Kathy Vosberg? Eric Heider? Nothing. Ralph? No questions for me. James? Nope.
I have no problem with the 3-to-1 exemption on that.
All right. Rich?
I'm not sure I have a full packet of information. Do we have any elevations that were shared? I mean, am I the only one who doesn't see that?
There are no elevations provided. There is a plan on file with the building department for one of the lots next to this development, which actually will be included as part of the association by deed restriction. That we submitted as an elevation. I don't know if it was shared or not, so.
And do we know what the building materials are? Are they called out? I feel like I don't have a whole full packet of information here. Normally, we have a lot more information, so I'm a little lost, to be honest with you.
Understand, there are building restrictions in the master deed. It would be typically a brick apron and then either brick or vinyl for the,
And do we have the master deed here? Okay, I would have to go back and check that. I have more work to do here, so nothing for right now.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just typically, when we have a traditional site condo or subdivision, with residential streets and, blocks within a development, the ordinance does specify that you, can't have the same elevation repeating, more than one time for every 3 houses. So in this case where it's not a traditional, block front and it's more of a rural setting on a major thoroughfare, there is no real standard to hold that to. So this is a little bit different where we wouldn't require the elevations where we would in a traditional sense with a traditional development. So there is nothing that really mandates they supply it. At this point, it's more in line with the building department to ensure that homes that are built are compatible with the surrounding homes in the surrounding area.
So any of the requirements will be picked up by the building department?
Correct.
When they submit?
Correct.
And there's only, 10 sites?
there's 10 sites in the condo, and then there's, I believe, 6 additional sites that will be brought into the association by deed restrictions. If you look on the map, there's 7 actually sites that are not part of the condo that are
Right.
lots. One of them has already been developed, the others will be developed as part of the association, but not under the site condo common splits.
Okay. All right. Brian Carr?
No questions.
Rick LaBelle?
Just one more question, but typically when when we do have a development come in front of us, you had mentioned that there is a requirement that the homes, that there isn't a repeat of but also part of the requirements is that they provide 4 elevations for different homes. That's not gonna apply here?
Sorry. Yeah, so that falls under the standards for blocks, because there are no blocks. There's no
Okay.
requirement for that. The materials that are required include a boundary survey, a plan delineating all natural and man-made features, location, size, shape, area, and width of the condominium units, and then the copy of the master deed and all restrictive covenants. That's really what's required, and then the other stuff is as it applies. And again, because they don't have blocks, it wasn't a requirement. There's nothing to assess within there.
What's that?
Mr. Chairman, just another quick reminder, the Planning Commission may not remember from their preliminary, but this one was a little different because the Land Division Act allows so many simple splits for a parent parcel. So the property owner maximized their simple splits and then did the site condo for the rest of it. So that's why when the applicant's referring to the other portion that's already being built, those were split off, I think, back in 23, and I believe a couple of them are built at this point. So it's kind of one development done in 2 separate ways with what the Land Division Act allows. So that's why there's a little bit of just for clarification, you know what he's referencing when he's talking about the other portion being deed restricted.
Okay. So I understand there's no plans, elevations, or any of that. Is there plans on what size and style of the homes? Like if it's a ranch,
Yeah,
minimum
and
square
I'm
footage, a 2-story minimum square footage?
doing this off the top of my head. Typically, we do, I believe it's 1,600 square foot minimum for the, I don't know what I'm calling this, for the ranch, and then 2,000 square foot for the for the two-story in a development like this, minimum, so.
Okay, that's what the plans are,
Yeah,
then the
and
goals.
and typically no outbuildings unless the association decides later on. We don't, we have attached garages, and it's 1,600, 2,000.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have? Oh,
Did you ask your car?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, missed it.
Yes.
I have a question of our planner. I guess so it's the site condo plus those other parcels. Are they part of the condo association?
That would be up to the applicant, and they're not for the purposes of this meeting.
And I'm not asking for, because of technicalities of this meeting at all, it's just general purposes. So, like, I'm curious only, would they be part of the detention pond? And
They will be, yes.
They will be.
There'll
they'll
be, their
be
deed
part of it,
restrictions.
And whatever requirements are for upkeep of that?
Yes.
And everything, okay. And then as far as the roads go, because it's all access from the public road, that's between them and the County Department of Roads?
Correct, and I believe they've gotten their permits from the county.
That's correct.
All set? I just wanted, Mr. Klonowski had asked to make sure that I didn't forget Mr. Carr, but I noted it, that this was maybe the first time I got a no comment.
That's what.
So I wasn't sure if I heard it right. It's like, what? So,
Look at them as 10 single-family homes.
so they did a good job, so.
Well, there's really not much to review.
So, anyways, thank you for your comments, and with that, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to approve. The development is within the requirements or what our master plan has set forth, as well as as what the township requires for minimum lot size, minimum depth, minimum square footage of homes. There's really not a whole lot of information here that we have to approve. There's utilities that are available for these homes. With that, I'm sorry?
Sidewalks.
Sidewalks are there. With that, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Support.
We have a motion by Rick LaBelle, supported by James Klonowski, to approve Laurels of Chesterfield site plan number 2025-05. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night. All right, there's no presentations for tonight. Planning commissioners, we got 3 minutes. Kathy, got anything? Eric? Ralph? James? Rick? Richard?
I'm okay, thank you.
Brian?
No comments.
And the only comment I have is I remembered everybody's name tonight.
That was good.
With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:21.
Support.
Motion by Carl Leonard, supported by Rich Brokart, to adjourn the meeting at 7:21. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?